Hi, and welcome to another FinallyICanSee.com installation video. In today's video, I'm going to install a 12-inch light kit on my Viking machine. In my kit, I have a power supply, 2 cable management clips, 1 alcohol wipe, and of course my fantastic light strip. Also available to you guys now is our inline power switches. What these power switches do is they simply extend between your power supply and your light, and they make it for a very simple on and off, especially if your machine sits on a desk all day and you don't have the need to put it away. With that switch comes a pencil that has 3M one-sided adhesive on it. This adhesive goes right over the top of your light strip. We will cover that in the installation video. Helpful tools with your installation would be a Sharpie, a pair of kitchen scissors, and a kitchen knife. Also, you need to have a hairdryer to warm up your machine in the prep before installation. Okay, the important step before prep is your dry fit. Because this tape is bendable, you have the ability to go around corners. You want to know the layout you'd like on the throat of your machine before peeling back the adhesive. This eliminates any chance of having to put it on and pull it off because you didn't like where it went. All I'm going to do is go from the back of my machine. I know I want my pigtail to be right about here, coming down and following my power cord. And then I know that I want it up like this, and I want it to turn a corner right here. All I do is I'll make a slight bend here at this joint, like so. Put it back up. And then when I reach the limit of length right here, I need to make another bend, and that is right here. I'm also going to grab some painter's tape and use it to stick the light up to the throat of the machine. That way I can plug it in and make sure I like where the light is falling. Obviously, I'm covering up some of the light, but at least I'm getting a good idea of the layout. Like so. Make sure you're happy with the layout, and then the next step is preparation. To prep your machine for the installation of your LED strip lighting, use the alcohol wipe included in your kit. You're going to want to clean the whole throat, and also right down the side where you want to put your cable management clips. It is very important after you clean the throat that you try not to get your finger grease on it, because it'll give it the best adhesion if it's perfectly clean. After I clean it down with the alcohol wipe, I'm actually going to take a hairdryer and warm up the throat. It'll also dry any liquid residue left over from the alcohol wipe. Again, trying to be very careful that I don't get my finger grease on it. Alright, I've done my prep and my dry fit. Now I'm ready to install my light. You see that I've actually put it back up with the painter's tape again to make my life easier. So, my next step is to grab my kitchen knife, and what I'm going to do with that is very gently pull back part of the adhesive backing. And the reason I use a knife to start it is that I don't want to get my finger grease on the adhesive. Now what I'm going to do is very slowly just take a section off at a time and stick my light. Just like this. And I'm going to press really hard to make sure that the adhesive sticks well. And also by going slow, I can make sure that I stick my light on fairly straight to make it look beautiful. Okay, So I've stuck this length on, and now I've come to a corner. This is where the Sharpie comes in handy, because the corner, if you can see, it's going to stick up slightly, and because we want the light strip to lay flat, I like to use a blunt plastic object, Sharpie works best, to just give it pressure to lay flat, because my fingers aren't tough enough to do it on their own. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to peel back my tape here, stick this on, and then when I get to the corner, I'm just going to gently press down. This won't hurt your machine. And that's going to force the corner to lay nice and flat. And I'm just going to do it on the other one as well and finish up the rest of this light strip. Okay, when I go to install my cable management clips, I'm going to take my kitchen knife to get the edge of the adhesive backing off, like so. Then without touching it, and I've already put it on my pigtail so I know where to place it, just going to pull the pigtail out, and I'm going to give it really firm pressure. Okay, and I'm going to do the exact same thing with the next cable clip management tie. Like so, put it in place, and then I don't want to push down on it with the pigtail in it, so I'll just take that out, give it firm pressure, put this back in, like so, and then I'm going to take my hairdryer one more time and go over the whole thing, warm it up just a tad bit, and give it more pressure to make sure that it's all laying firm and flat. Alright, I've installed my light. Now my last step is to install my 3M tape. This tape goes right over the LED light strip, and it creates a smooth finish so that you eliminate snag factor. Grab your kitchen shears, and all you're going to do is you're going to measure out the length you need, cut it, and install it. I pre-cut my tape, and trying not to get any finger grease on the sticky side, all I'm going to do is go right over the tape itself. And because there's only a small width on this particular machine, I'm going to have some overhang, and I can simply cut that with my knife in just a little bit. But I'm just following the edge. I'm going to go all the way down. Like this, and I've reached my corner, so what I'm going to do is just take my kitchen scissors and go ahead and trim my tape like so, so it makes a nice end right there. I'm going to go over this firmly to make sure it's sticking. And here's my overhang. So very carefully, all I'm going to do is take this little bit that's hanging and I'm just going to trim it. It helps to have a sharp knife for this step, and on some machines you may not have to do this. It really depends on the throat. Alright, so I installed my 3M tape over my light, I trimmed any excess, and I actually took my hairdryer one more time, went over it, and pushed down firmly to make sure I got a good stick. Now, here's the final moment. You get to plug in your light and finally see. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to contact us. You'll see our office number and email in the link below. Thank you so much for watching. Happy sewing! Mm-hmm.